A part two for you. So following the last video, this is on the other side, because I was over there on the other video, and now I'm looking out to where the Apex garage was, which is where that self-storage place is, and then take a moment to have a look at this parade of shops. So this one here, Massage Healthcare, that used to be a Boots dispensing chemist, as they would call themselves. So that would have been the first inhabitant of that building, that shop space anyway, back in the 1930s when this parade was put up. Mid to late 30s. And then going along here, where we have Diamond Glam, I believe that this was indeed a Sainsbury's, and that may very well be the original frontage. So a lot of the shops on this run have had this quite elaborate frontage to it. Quite remarkable that it survived, but that is probably more to do with the fact that Sainsbury's left it unchanged, and then out of meanness everybody inhabiting afterwards didn't bother. These granite faced bits on the side are indicative of a previous time. Not many of those survived because they've been covered over. Fireworks corner, I don't know what that was, but a look at a Keddy's directory would tell you. It's a rather fine little sort of parade thing here. It's quite interesting. So I go round. Everything's Apex here. Apex Building Supplies, Apex Radio Cars. It's quite a nice building in its own way, again neglected somewhat, but that would have been quite aspirational at one point before things got dreadful. So swinging back round again to the roundabout, Northway Circus as it was called, and then we'll just walk along here. Lovely this, isn't it? And you're thinking, oh, what's this got to do with history, Mark? Because it's all been shot in 2024, in fact the very first day of 2024. It's just an opportunity to have a look and to talk about what was here and how it was, because it was all very, very different. So as I said in the previous video, a lot of these shops now is all the usual selection you get, but back in the day there would have been things like a fruit shop. I think there was a Mayor's fruit shop along here somewhere, and there would have been things like maybe an off-license, news agents, that sort of thing. I doubt there would have been a betting office. Far too posh around here at that point, because this area was and still is to some way, as a siren goes past, aspirational. Here is Eurosuits in all its glory. Now that shop frontage hasn't changed since the well, it's got no 208 number on it, so I would say it's certainly the late 80s, early 90s. And so that is really very much part of Northwest London's history. If you ever pass up here through, and have done over the years, Eurosuits is a thing you'd always look out for, especially if it was lit up. Incredible it's still going. But there you go. Let's just go and have a look at something else which is quite interesting. The man at the bus stop's probably wondering what I'm doing. Even though it is quiet-ish, just careful. Northway Circus, Northway Crescent, you see. So there, again, indication of what this was called, Northway, because of the Great Northway that went up to Hertfordshire and beyond. The A1, the Great North Road, as it was called. Just having a look at this little cul-de-sac of homes. Again, you see, it was all quite nice, really, back in the day, when things were a bit quieter. Back of the shops, back of the building. Let's go back again. Man at the bus stop's still there, waiting for his bus, wondering what I'm doing. Why are you shooting video? I would bore him and tell him about North West London Time Machine, but he'd probably not be interested. Probably got a hangover from last night. Right, let's move on quickly to look at something that a lot of you will be aware of, and it's that with the date on there, 1959, with some performing seals with balls on their snouts. There's another one a bit further along, just above F45. Now this one is dated 1958, so this bit was built first. You see? Now there's been lots of speculation. It's probably gone on Robert Elm's show on the notes and queries section that he does and still does over the years as to what this really means. Well, it is an allusion to the fact that it was Northway Circus, so the builder decided that it'd play on that, I assume. There's other things that people have said, because there's a swimming pool place here that somehow it's connected with something to do with water. That could be, don't know. But so there you go. Part 2 of, I mean, I could pause. We're going to get across this road, which is not easy to do if you don't go through the underpass. But basically over there's a really nice piece of signage that says Northway Court. You might be able to just make it out. Okay, just above the hedge line there, which is really lovely. Festival typeface, I believe it's called. So these were put up in the immediate post-war period. So this whole area looked very different, certainly in the 1920s when all this stuff wasn't here and the Apex garage was, and then the 30s, and then after the war, and then things really changed. Obviously car ownership, this the A41 would have probably been widened, and you know, down there is the Mill Hill Circus traffic interchange. But yes, it's an area that has seen quite a lot of change over the last 100 years, and I think often neglected, really, in terms of being talked about. It's a place that a lot of people pass through and have passed through. I used to pass through here on a National Express coach on the way up north to see my parents, and I lived up in Stamford, Lincolnshire, years ago. So yeah, it's all known to people, just, I don't know, somehow people don't really want to talk about it. But there's a little bits of magic, like the performing seals and Euro suits, and there would have been more too, but it's gone. But there you go. Right, thanks for watching.